I have to return some videotapes.
Hey everybody, and we're back with a, I guess you would call it special
This is
edition of the Fiend podcast, sort of.
Yeah, this is going to be the first. We're going to attempt this. This is going to be, we were kind of mentioning it on the last episode, we're going to try to do reviews of movies either one of us hasn't seen or we both haven't seen. So, you know, it's fun. We tend to riff while we're watching these movies, so it's fun to kind of like write down some notes we had.
Sure, it's very mystery science theater-esque, but no doubt about it, we love these films. They're awesome, you know.
Sure.
And even if it's the first time seeing it.
Well, and I don't think we're going to do it for necessarily like the classics. Like, we're going to focus more on good movies, but like stuff that's kind of, you know,
below the radar,
yeah, a B movie or something. Like something we're not going to watch like The Godfather. Like, we're not going to watch Godfather 2 on this.
Sure. Shout out to Paul Arthur that brought that up last episode, but yeah, we're not going to do the big sequels or the big movies or all that, because how many reviews or how many talking about videos are there about that?
All right,
a bunch, I'm sure.
Well, and I think that what we're going to do with this is going to be more like the nitty-gritty, like low, like kind of horror flicks of like the 70s and 80s, like
would be cool.
Grindhouse
maybe 90s
stuff.
too. Yeah,
maybe
there you
90s.
go. Maybe 90s, all over the place.
You know, gore flicks. Like,
sure.
For instance, the two we're going to do tonight are 80s movies. One of them is an Italian gore flick that's pretty. It's not really notorious, but it's pretty intense. And then another that, you know, is kind of, if you're in the know, it's kind of a classic.
Yeah, if you're in kind of like the underground or the B-rated or under the radar, you've seen this one. Well, both of them really.
Right.
I mean, because let's face it, for both of these, there's a hardcore following, but maybe a smaller, like I said, underground. But
right. And funny, we were both talking about it right before we recorded. We didn't even realize it when we chose these two, but they're actually both sequels. They're both part 2 in a series.
Sure. And back to back.
And they're back to back because the first movie came out in '86 and the second one came out in '87.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. Both fun movies.
Very
we
fun.
Laughed a lot watching these.
Yeah, I haven't laughed that much in a while. And the first one we put on tonight, it was sheer entertaining, and it's like I was telling you earlier. Why did I wait so long to watch this movie?
Right.
So,
well, and I kind of felt the same way when we watched the second one, because it was one that I just never saw because I didn't really see the first one, and everybody's like, you don't need the first one to see the second one.
Sure.
It was, I found out later, one of my favorite writers/directors actually wrote it, so of course I loved the dialogue, and like the characters were lovable and everything, so.
Has some good cameos in it, and all sorts of stuff.
Whoop, forgot to put my silencer on my phone. That was my girlfriend. Shout out. Hey, Corey. But
anyway, you have the good ringtone. You have the
Yeah, I just changed that back because we're just coming off of Friday the 13th. So
yeah.
I had it as the Predator noise before. But
oh, yeah.
So anyway, so we should probably introduce. Well, we'll start with the first one. The first movie we watched today was 1986's Demons 2.
Yes.
The sequel to Demons, of course.
Very good film, 1986. Produced by
Dario Argento.
Both of them, I believe, right? The first one and the second one?
Yeah, he produced both of them.
Okay.
Which is funny, a lot of people, because the VHS always says, like, Dario Argento, Demons.
Sure.
So everybody thought he directed it, but he just produced it.
When you say it on the cover and stuff like that, it draws you in. That's just like when Predator, this is kind of getting off subject, but when Predator 3 came out, they said, Robert Rodriguez's Predator 3. I'm like, oh, dude, he's going to direct it. No, not at all. He produced it.
So does that mean Sex Machine's going to fight Predator? That'd be awesome.
Well, That it kind of happened that way.
Well,
he
Machete.
was in it. Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah, Savini wasn't in it though.
Well,
Savini
no.
played Sex Machine.
Oh, Sex Machine. I was talking about Machete. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny Trejo is in Predators, but
Predators. Yeah, Predator 3. But anyway, so,
yeah.
it says on the cover, like, you think it, but it didn't happen. But nonetheless, still great film.
Right. We'll start. I'm just going to start off by saying, like, if you've not seen Demons, you don't necessarily need to see it for the second one. Mm-hmm. It's a fun time. We both watched it. I was in tears. The thing, so hard. I think the precursor for anybody that's not seen a lot of Italian horror, the best way to go into it, like, for a long time when I was, like, in college, I hated Italian horror because it's just like there's no story. The plot is stupid. People are stupid. The dialogue's terrible. Like, why would anybody like this? And the whole thing is, it took me a few years to realize that most good Italian horror, the best way to go into it is think of it as a nightmare. Think of it less as, actual realistically this stuff's happening, and think more like, when you have a dream and, like, one moment there's a dog standing there and you're like, hey dog, what's up? And then you turn and then you come back and the next moment the dog's a freaking demon and chasing you down the hallway. That kind of stuff, that's kind of like how these movies work. Like, especially like Demons had a notorious, like, the main character, you don't even know he's the main character until the last 20 minutes of the movie, where he becomes just all of a sudden he's a badass on a dirt bike with a katana blade taking out demons. Being like awesome. I'm like, why isn't this guy talked about like Ash in The Evil Dead? And it's like, well, he doesn't really have the personality. And again, it's like a fever dream. You just
but
so that's happening now.
He stepped up and he became the hero.
Right.
But about these movies is it's like you don't have to overthink these movies. They're just fun.
In fact, watching Demons 2, I think we talked through the first 20 minutes of build-up.
Yeah, we're talking through it, shooting the breeze and everything, and it's like, it's one of those things where you don't really have to pay a lot of attention to the dialogue to kind of get the gist of it. Once it gets rolling, you get where it's going or where it could go and what's happening.
I've seen it before.
And how random it is.
Right, I've seen it before, so I knew the plot and everything, but, we talked through it. You weren't lost at any point in it.
No.
I think the only time we actually rewound it was at one point just because we were like, did that really just happen? Hang on a second. And it's like, that just happened.
I was laughing so hard. It was one of those things, it's like, dude, Am I seeing what I just saw? We got to rewind this. So
I think how we're going to start this off to begin the conversation, we're going to just kind of go over the plot points, give a brief synopsis, and as we're talking, we're going to go over some cool parts about it. So I'll start us off. Basically, what you need to know to start is from the original Demons is just that when we start the movie, it's basically that the first movie happened that demons. People were somehow possessed by evil forces and became like glowing-eyed, green, like pus, oozing, clawed demon, like bitey teeth demon people that if you're cut, bit, accidentally get some blood on you or like saliva, within like 30 seconds you turn into a demon. So 10 times worse than the zombie.
Pretty crazy, yeah. Unless we were talking, unless you're a zombie from 28 Days Later, unless you're one of those. So, it's kind of like that, but
sure. Yeah. So, so that's basically like the only thing you really need to take from the first movie. So we start in. It's like a high-rise apartment building, and they're slowly introducing these characters, and really everybody's kind of like, okay, so there's the yuppie, and the yuppie's got his wife is pregnant, okay, and you have no clue these are going to be your main characters, but okay,
right? They're just kind of showing them, and and especially from the first one, like you don't know, you really don't,
and then you've got the prostitute and like her John, who has one of the greatest lines of the movie is like, you mind if we keep the TV on while we fuck? Okay.
Which is just every girl just wants to hear that.
Really, like how is this guy not already married?
That's
a keeper right there.
Anyway,
it's hilarious because there's all these oiled up, like half naked guys down in the gym, like pumping iron, and
just like staring each other eye to eye, like oh yeah, you can do it. One more.
It's very homoerotic.
Just a little bit. Just a little
the
bit.
best part, and probably I think that Richard will agree with me, the greatest character in the movie is this really pissed off gym instructor. He's this bald black dude.
Yeah, he's just
cool.
He is just awesome. He knows what's up, and he's got the attitude. And he takes control.
Well, even when he's just like in the gym with the guys, he's like, "Come on, one more.
Come on, you got this. Come on."
It's just like, okay,
it's just like.
All right,
like,
sure.
Whoa, is this the same movie?
And then, like, we focus on, like, it's a girl, I think she's, like, she's got to be, like, in her 20s, having, like, they're having, like, a birthday party for her, and she's all being bitchy. At one point, it's like, blah, 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 and he runs to her room and locks the door.
Yeah, she's not feeling it. Yeah, runs and locks herself in her room pretty much. And
so then we go to, she starts watching TV, which everybody else in the apartment is watching TV, and they are showing a documentary of people at ground zero of where the demon attack happened.
From the first
movie.
That's one thing that it'll kind of take you back to that one. There are some things here and there, but
again, you really
don't have to see it. But yeah, so
all you really need to know is that demons attack, people died.
You get scratched, you're screwed.
So the movie within a movie is basically like, it's supposed to be a documentary because you keep hearing voiceover, but it's like basically a horror flick of these people like checking out Ground Zero. They find a demon body laying there. Some stupid chick like accidentally cut her hand on a mirror or something. She just happens to bleed all into its mouth, which just immediately resurrects it, and it goes around, starts killing them all, and it's if you've seen enough movies like we have, this is a bad start. Well,
you're like, oh yeah, this has got to be okay.
Again, it's like, is this a documentary, or is this like, is this like footage of what happened to these people, or is this a reenactment? It's really weird.
It feels like it could be all of it, really.
Right, and then it gets surreal because then the demon starts coming through the birthday girl's TV.
Yeah, this is of course before The Ring. Before all that other crap.
That was actually a cool effect too. He's like,
oh yeah, he was. It was just kind of like similar to dare I say Vigo in the painting from Ghostbusters 2. The way he's just kind of like his head is kind of pushing out.
Yeah, I'd be
kind of like that.
I'd be kind of curious to see how they did the effect. I mean, I'm sure I'm overthinking it, but it was really cool. But needless to say, he gets out and she gets bit. So she then goes back to the party right when they decide to like have her blow out the candles.
Oh yeah, they have her candle.
She comes this is a hilarious scene because they're all standing there like singing "Happy Birthday," and she just looks. She's not demonified yet, but she's like is like bent over staring at the cake. Like
it's starting to consume her. You could tell.
Does anybody else notice this? Like, does anybody else go?
The veins popping out, baby.
Yeah. And like the good guys like stand there, and all of a sudden she like reaches out and like stabs her fingers into him, and her fingers elongate into claws and starts like ripping into his skin. He starts screaming, which I just immediately thought to myself, like, if I'm at a party and the girl like reaches over and starts stabbing my hand with her fingernails, I'm gonna do something other than to stand there and scream. I'm gonna like deck her, like stop.
Yeah, like I would put my foot on her shoulder and like push that mofo off.
I'm just saying. So, and again, never explained, but suddenly everybody's like screaming and running as she's like all becoming this horrible demon. Somehow the front door is locked and nobody can get out.
Sure. Who locked the front door and like swallowed the key? That's what I want to know.
So needless to say, everybody gets cut or gashed by her, and everybody at the party becomes a demon.
Sure.
So it then proceeds that, everybody in the apartment is not safe. It's like these demons are just coming out mowing people down. The guy in the gym is still yelling at the guy.
Oh yeah, that's still going on, and it's still very sweaty, oily.
Power goes out.
And
also keep in mind, they never go anywhere with it. is that the people outside of the apartment building, because there's like the one guy that's like, oh, they didn't invite me to the party. Oh, well, maybe I'll go in. But he never does.
He's just he's the only dude that makes it.
It's
just
one
this
of the
random
only
guy.
ones. Yeah, just random dudes like stand outside the
spoiler
apartment.
alert, but
he's just like, I guess I'll go to the party at some point. Like, he never does. So I don't know what that had to do with the plot.
He's kind of waiting. He's kind of like, and I said this before. He's kind of standing there like waiting for a bus or something.
Right.
And it's not a bus stop or anything. He's just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So, all right, later. There's like a little kid that's like home alone. His mom's at work, and like you never hear about the mom anymore. And like the kid gets attacked by demons, which is pretty frightening stuff. He like hides in a closet.
Sure, I would have to say is probably one of the scarier things of it.
One thing that we both noticed, as much as it's a fun, like funny movie to watch now, like if I had seen this when I was like, in the 80s when it came out, I probably would have been traumatized.
Oh yeah, it would have scared me if I would have saw it late night on like HBO or something like that.
Like the demons are
like,
frightening.
Whoa, the way they ooze and stuff in the teeth and all that. But I would have, I would have still been in love with it. Though,
oh sure,
But
anyway, so yeah, like anybody that gets like blood on them or cut or anything, they turn into a demon. Like the little kid turns into a demon and chases. Makes no sense. He turns into a demon, attacks the pregnant girl. The pregnant girl like gets out of the way. He then just for no reason just falls over. Starts convulsing.
He's like, he falls over and starts shaking and everything.
And then like a little gremlin pops out of his chest, and then the gremlin tries to kill her. And
the gremlin does look indeed like something from Ghoulies or Ghoulies 2.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Not hating on it, and I love Ghoulies as well.
It wasn't even bad effects. It was just like,
but it was like, that's really random.
Yeah,
it's like what happened to him?
Again, it goes with the whole like it's a nightmare. There's no logic to why the kid suddenly becomes like shoots out a chest bursting gargoyle baby thing.
That's what you think. We thought it's like, wow, is this going to be an alien? What is this? Is this a xenomorph?
It's like a silly, she like stabs it with some scissors. Mm-hmm. She pours poison on it, which she just happened to have sitting on her cosmetic table.
Well, yeah, she traps it in the bed.
Right,
it goes into the wall.
She has a hide-a-bed that she shoots into the wall, and then he starts ripping out of the wall. So she pours poison on it.
Random poison, just got sitting on the table with some random stuff, maybe like drinks or whatnot. It's just like, and it even has a skull and like a crossbones on this thing. It's like, well, yeah, that's got to be some herbal tea.
I'm all about fingernail polish remover, but my God, strychnine's a little harsh.
I'm sure that would take skin off.
Spoilers, it didn't stop the gargoyle thing. Didn't kill him, yeah. Messes with him for a while.
Yeah, probably pissed him off a little bit.
It took the husband to come back and shove an umbrella through its mouth through a wall
to actually kill it.
Overkill. Yikes.
Overkill, not like the metal band.
No,
but as far as the of course it was a puppet.
Sure.
Pretty good effects actually.
Yeah.
The noises stuff it made, it was goofy, but of course that was what they were going for. It's supposed to be cheesy and goofy.
The gargoyle had horrible, like it sounded like a little kid sometimes, which is kind of creepy, but also kind of like took me out because it like felt like it was fighting Elmo.
Sure, and it like the one scene when it like jumps. I don't know if it was like off of one of something, but it's like the huge leap. It's just like we were dying.
The whole thing is like the demons are scary and like intimidating looking, and like when you see them in like kind of in shadow, their eyes glow yellowish, which is really cool, kind of like a cat.
Sure, yeah, and not all of them have the same color too.
Sure,
there's some green,
that
some
cool.
yellow. Maybe I saw some red.
There was some red in there too.
So
what I dug was that they all like make this like horrendous growling noise all the time.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like we also commented like, as intimidating and scary as that is, it sounds like if you just close your eyes and listen to them go, it's kind of like somebody slowed down porno dialogue and just
slow motion.
But it works. So anyway, to continue the story, so the gym instructor and all the guys in the gym are throwing barbells.
Yeah, they're just like, what's going on? All the lights are off and everything. It's like they start attacking them. It's like,
right. Of course, the one guy that decides it's a great idea to get a few more reps is the first to die.
He gets trapped in the machine.
You dumbass.
Squeezed. I mean,
what was funny though is his buddy standing there and he throws like a 50-pound barbell at one of their faces.
Goosh! Yeah.
Drops it. That was pretty funny. Like, it was like, why don't they just keep a hold of the barbell? Like, you can just punch somebody with one of those, probably take their head off.
I would even have taken the weights off of there, and I would have just used the pole and just used it like batter up,
like crush their skulls.
Right?
But, they get down to the parking garage, and of course, gym instructor dude is like the hard ass that's like, no, we need to do this, barricade that door, and do this, and he's like rallying the troops, like. You're supposed to kind of like be rooting for the yuppie and his pregnant wife, but they're kind of like so one-sided. You're like, okay, whatever. But this dude's like, at least as
he knows what's going on. Yeah, he got like the shotgun.
Gets the shotgun.
He's got all the ammunition.
He kills the first demon. Like
he does.
He comes running at him, and unlike every other horror movie, he first shot is a headshot, and he drops the demon. So
Dude,
I'm like,
perfectly.
This guy's awesome.
This dude knows what's up. Yeah,
you're kind of like, okay, if this guy's not going to be the hero or anything, he's at least going to last.
He's going to last a while, put up a good fight, and he did. He
did for the most part. So basically, we go on. They're trying to get out. They still can't get out. They're barricaded. They got all these cars like set up this barricade, and
that's the thing, about having all these really strong guys. They're lifting cars up, turning them over. It's like, dude, this is crazy.
Again, it's really like so cheesy '80s because they're all still lubed up. And they're all
they're like
so
shorts. They're like so slick. If they were probably to like slip and fall on the ground, they probably like fly back up to their feet.
They're glistening.
Yeah,
there's like so much baby. I bet like it smelled horrible oil between the sweat and the baby oil and all the blood. I bet it was just
right.
So. Needless to say, the demon they start throwing Molotovs.
Oh yeah,
and
make
the
a lot of
demons
that.
Are like doing like front flips over it,
dude. Yeah, it's just like
this was the part we had to rewind because we're just like, was that the same demon doing three cartwheels?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, what's the budget on this? Was that the same demon doing a flip?
Like,
well, I know how to do a flip.
No, it was 3 different dudes. Doing these flips.
It was different clothes.
It was impressive. We're laughing our asses off, but I mean, like, it was kind of cool. But so, needless to say, they get bum rushed, and again, it's like if it was an American movie, they would have had the black dude, the gym instructor, the guy that knows what he's doing, would have probably had an honorable death where he takes like 7 down with him.
He's he's kills falling, starts shooting them and stuff. Yeah,
he kills one, and he goes to run, and this freaking demon grabs him by the crotch and tears his penis off. I'm like, where is this warrant? This poor guy is like. I might have understood if it was like he was a douchebag and he like treated the main character like a jerk and like he had his dick ripping off. He had that coming. No, dude was like being cool and trying to save lives. He gets his penis ripped off.
Yeah. He had. They're all down there, and he was the overseeing all this and doing a great job. He was the hero. We thought we were the hero, and it's like
I was like, oh,
goodbye to the package, sir.
No, we did not rewind that scene because I didn't need to see his penis getting ripped off again. That was,
no. We wouldn't need to see that.
I mean, they didn't.
We were both like, oh.
It wasn't even that graphic. It was more the thought of it.
And they showed like a really close shot of whoever like grabbing it too, just grabbing his crotch.
You see the demon's fingers; they're all jagged and.
Just grabbing his crotch.
You need a tetanus shot, even if you weren't going to turn into a demon. But
pretty much.
So,
to say the least.
While they're down there, pretty much like there's this little girl played by Dario Argento is like hiding in one of the cars, and her dad ends up being like the hero as he takes like 12 of them at once, and he's like swinging at like a crowbar at him.
Crowbar or all kinds of stuff.
It's inevitable. Yeah. They bum rush him and just start eating him. And then like a really just scary scene is like they just kill him and she's like screaming for her dad. We're talking like a 10, 11-year-old girl.
Right.
And then they like just bum rush the car and are just staring at her, scratching on the windows. It was... I mean, I'm 36, and that kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, she's probably peeing her leg. I would be.
Think of if, like, a child actress, like, in that movie, just, like, sitting there, and they're like, okay, this next scene, you're just going to sit there and be really scared and sad, like, crying because your dad just died, and then 15 people in horrible makeup are going to stand right outside the window of the car you're in and just scratch at it. And
good point. I mean, how would you handle that if, like, say you were the director? Like, okay, listen... listen, little girl, this is what's going to happen. You're going to sit here in the car, and when we start, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. But whenever it starts up, you're going to look terrified.
Now, granted,
it's like, okay, you ready? Action, go!
It is Dario Argento's daughter. So she's pretty hardcore, and she's been through some crap.
Her first movie.
Yeah. But, dude, 11-year-old girl, I don't care. That's just... I'm 36, and if my buddy who makes movies is like, okay, this next scene, you're going to sit in a car, we're going to put, 26 guys around you and, demon face paint. They're just going to stare at you. I might pee a little. I don't care.
Like, what's going on? What kind of movie are you making?
Well, I'd probably that night, of course, with my luck, I'd be, getting ready for bed that night, just ready for sleep, and then be like,
then you would see
that really screwed up moment, and then that's all I would think of for the rest of the night.
You'd probably wake up every hour on the hour.
So basically, everybody dies in the parking garage. Horribly.
Right. Horribly, yeah.
The guy is in an elevator with the prostitute, just coincidentally. So he's basically trying to get back to his pregnant wife, and he's with the prostitute. The prostitute gets grabbed by a demon through the shaft. And then, of course, it's funny because all you see is that he grabs her hair, so you don't...
Oh, he's trying to scalp her.
Right, but you don't see that she gets cut. You don't see anything like that. And, of course, as soon as the yuppie dude gets the top of the elevator open and he starts climbing up, and he's like, let me take your hand, and then he just goes,
come
nope.
On she's like,
jumps back right as she, swan dives up to try to get him as she's just demonified in, a split second. And then they have this back and forth where he's climbing up the rope and she's climbing up the rope next to him.
Yeah,
and he's kicking her in the face.
Yeah, they're climbing up the elevator. Yeah, the elevator ropes. Yeah, all the way to the top. She's just behind him, kind of. So.
He's kicking her in the face, the stomach times, and in the stomach that she finally falls and straight up. It's a dummy, but it's so funny because she's just swamp. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good stuff. So many good moments in this movie. So many classic moments.
Yeah. So he gets back up, and then he kills the little goblin demon with the umbrella. Gets his wife. At this point, they're the demons are running up the stairwell to them. All of a sudden, yuppie guy, all of a sudden he's like, oh, I've had some training. Really? What? When did this come up? He runs down with, a Zippo, opens up, the gas can, the propane heating or something, and just, does that, runs back up the steps, and as he sees the demons coming, he's just like, whew, and just blows them up. And I'm like... Where did this come from?
Boosh. Yeah, it takes out a good amount of them.
He takes them all out.
Yeah.
Except for some reason...
The original,
the birthday girl is still kicking. Half her face is melting off.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point...
her eye.
Yeah, her eyes all
her eyes are messed up to begin with. But.
Right. So they then... somehow he had, a rope, and, they decide they're going to rappel down the side of the building, him and his wife... So then, he does this whole elaborate thing, and it's really funny, is as he's, starting to rappel down, in slow-mo as the demon goes,
just, going down after him.
All I could think of was, Monty Python. No, she's just running towards them. All I could think of was, John Cleese and Monty Python. It's just, across the field running, and, the two guys are just standing there looking at him. It's
pretty much.
So they rappel down, they get down to the, street level.
Right.
And you're like, okay, well, cool. She didn't, try to cut the line while they were going down or anything. And then you look up, and there's the demon, just sliding down. It's where did she get rappelling skill?
That comes with just becoming a demon.
I guess.
Okay, so before we move on and keep going, I think we missed a very funny, valuable part. Well, it's not really valuable, but it's very entertaining. The dog. We forgot about the dog.
Yeah, at one point a dog gets, the dog accidentally gets licks some demon blood that was pouring through the ceiling like acid.
Yeah, and it's okay, again, is this an alien movie? What's going on here? It's like acid.
Which, here's a funny thing: you never see that dog again after that scene.
No, you don't actually.
Because
don't.
like it's a single lady lives by herself with like her little, I think it was like a cocker spaniel or something.
Sure.
It like accidentally licks some of the blood, even though it's barking at it. Like, fuck this, I don't want it.
It's probably like, man, that just didn't taste good.
Right. Maybe that's what it was, but like all of a sudden, like its mouth like elongates and like shoots out of the front. It's got like glowing green eyes and
yeah. So it's like, it kind of like the whole face comes outside of the regular dog's face. So it's like you have four eyes, I guess, showing
sure.
craziness.
So
it's pretty cool.
It like comes out and mauls her. But again, you never see the dog again. Like,
no,
maybe it's because her door was locked and she couldn't get out when it turned into a dog, so then it couldn't get out.
Right, that's true.
Actually, if you think about it,
there is something
there's
left.
one alive. So, like, if somebody goes to check the place out, she's probably still kicking.
Oh God! Well,
and the dog.
No.
Somebody should just get a flamethrower and go through the place. That's what I would do.
Set the whole place on fire.
So. Yeah, so it ends with, of course, the cliche, they, like, get to, like, some weird studio where evidently the whole, like, the movie from the beginning was being recorded.
Sure.
Which, immediately, as soon as they get in the studio, of course, that's the moment that the girl drops off the baby, just right there. And
she's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, and of course, we're sitting there like, and the baby's going to be a demon. And the baby's going to be a demon. Because, mind you, there were a few times in the movie, we didn't even mention that, like, the main characters would run into random survivors and be like, I'm alive too, we'll go with you. And they'd go, like, 2 minutes down a set of stairs and all of a sudden, whoa, I'm a demon. Like,
they just jump them.
I'm sorry, if I'm in that situation and I know that, like, a cut or anything is going to turn you into a demon, if I run into a random survivor, I'll just be like, time out, did you get cut by one? Well, I kind of got great. Bam, you're done. I'm throwing you down a staircase. I don't care.
Yeah, you look like the dummy again, just going down.
Which again, we get to the ending, which I commented, like, the demon birthday girl gets in, she's half blind, and she's like looking around for the guy while the girl's sitting there with the baby.
Sure.
And she like lunges and then just keels over and dies. And we're just like, that was really...
It was just really random.
Well, and this was after he like took a pole and stabbed it through her after she repelled. I forgot that.
Yeah, after they got down.
So
to
then
the
she
floor,
just like still standing with like a pole in her, but then all of a sudden just keels over and dies. But
it's a slow death.
But then it shows like all these TVs showing like video, and even though she's dead, like she's running at the camera, like the beginning where the demon came out of the camera, or the TV. So
it's like it's going to happen again, but with her.
Right. So he like starts breaking all the TVs with like a stick or something.
Like, no, you're not coming out of the TV.
So and that's pretty much the end of the movie.
The yuppie and his wife.
The yuppie, his wife, and the baby survive. And the dude that was outside somehow made it.
The guy that never got picked up or anything.
Now, remember the people in the car, too.
Yeah.
They, like, wrecked the car at one point, and I think they died. Like, that had nothing to do with the demon, though.
That's right.
So we were talking over that because it just had nothing to do with the plot. Like, I was like, are they going to, like, somehow get into the apartment? No, they just wrecked the car, and that's it.
They didn't even get there, like, in the first one.
Right, and I just kept thinking, like, after it happened, because we were so not paying attention to that, it was just like, what was the significance of the guys in the car?
I don't know.
Like, that's really weird.
I don't know. It was
I mean, it's a fun movie to watch.
It's a great film. Yeah, very fun.
Entertaining, scary in moments.
If you like 80s films, everything from Chucky to Fright Night to Halloween, it's those and then some. It's like way over the top among those.
The monsters are really cool looking. The effects are really cool. Like that's one thing I'll say for this is the effects. They're all practical. Yeah. There's no CG because this is before CG.
Yeah.
It's all pretty realistic.
It's all pretty realistic, yeah. And it's like we were talking about the effects. It's all just really nasty and gooey and stuff, and it's just like it's awesome.
It's gross.
It
like you don't look at the demons at any point and go, oh, that's just a guy in makeup. Go like they look really.
No,
good.
Like, they look.
It's scary.
They do.
So that it's cool. It's not. You can't take it too seriously, or it falls apart. It is. silly. Some of the dialogue is dubbed, so we're like watching it. Some of the dialogue was really, really rough.
Well, yeah, and of course, if you guys don't know about it, but a lot of times horror films like this one, you know, they do get dubbed. It's not the original language. So
sure, I'd be kind of curious to like have the subtitle, like get a subtitled version and watch it just to see like what the actual dialogue was
to see how close how close it was to this one.
Because I mean when it's dubbed, it kind of gets silly.
Sure, and that's like in kind of going off subject real quick, but that's kind of how anime is when they dub it. A lot of times it's like they change a lot of the lingo and
certain words and things.
Yeah, so it's like it's not, it seems better in the
sometimes
language.
It's good, sometimes not so good.
Yeah, could go either way, but
yeah, so Demons 2, you have 2. Like any...
Well, of course, Dario produced, he didn't direct. Do you know right off the top of your head who directed?
I think it was like Lamberto Bava, maybe?
Okay, so I was going to say, I wouldn't know that off the top of my head and remember it, so...
I don't know if he did the first one or not. I'm sure I can look it up, but I mean, it's cool.
Dario Argento's daughter, it's her first movie. Which she also just went on to do more movies.
Oh yeah,
she did quite a few movies, correct?
Oh yeah, she became like a scream queen in the 90s. Did a few flicks. She was more mainstream audience. If you've seen Land of the Dead, she played I can't remember her character's name. I can't remember. She's basically the love interest of the main character.
Of him? Okay, okay. It's been a while since I've watched Land, but Land was, of course, we're going to go off. But Land was solid. I'm just saying.
Land was probably the last really good Romero
one.
movie.
I saw it in the theater. I
did too.
I dug it then. I still dug it. Great movie.
But yeah, and she's done other things. But that's the most. She also was in Triple X. She was the love interest to Vin Diesel in that.
Oh wow, yeah. See, now that the first Triple X I really liked.
Yeah,
so
she was in that.
Had a good soundtrack to it. And didn't you tell me earlier, maybe when we were watching actually the film, that she's like tattooed up now? Or she's tattooed up, which is awesome.
She's pretty tatted.
She's inked up, so
right on.
And then I just wanted to talk about the soundtrack real quick.
Oh yeah,
the soundtrack's a little different than the first one.
The first one had a really good soundtrack. Like it had Billy Idol,
except Saxon. Motley
Crue, that's right.
There's some more in there, but I can't think off the top of my head. Which it was a more metal soundtrack for
right.
Awesome.
And I mean, like White Wedding by Billy Idol, a pretty a pretty classic
iconic
tune.
Iconic. Yeah. Not just
this
for him
one,
in general.
The only song there were only two I remember hearing that I was like, oh yeah. What the end credits was like the Cult. I can't remember
in this and the Smiths.
Right, it was the Smiths because they at one point I think they're before the massacre starts at the birthday party, they're dancing to "Panic in the Streets of London."
Right,
which is kind of classic from Shaun of the Dead.
Right.
But yeah, nothing else really pops out. It was more of a new wave.
It was. This one was a new wave to where that one had more of a the 80s rock metal feel to it. So
still a good soundtrack.
Still a good soundtrack. It fit. It's very 80s.
Sure.
It fit.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel it was cheesy, but
no, it fit for the movie.
Fit for that one.
There was never a moment that the soundtrack took me out of it. It was more,
it's like this is kind of silly. Yeah.
No, it fit.
But
overall a good time. I had seen it before. Richard, this was a first viewing.
This was my first time. I had a copy of the movie a while back that I tried watching, but it wasn't that good. It was kind of a bootleg, and it wasn't the best. So I decided, hey, I'm not going to watch it. So
yeah,
we use
the Shudder app, which I would highly. If you're a horror movie fan, I highly recommend Shudder.
Yeah,
it's cheap. and it's also got a lot of content, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you were showing me today, all the good stuff.
And, like, if you're not, granted, they don't have the Freddys, they don't have the Jasons, but if you want to get into more, like, obscure stuff, you want to get into more foreign horror.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole and find out, more
like
of the
Japanese horror, Italian, there's some Spanish horror in there. There's some early
Spanish horror is crazy as well.
The early Guillermo del Toro movies are on there.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Really, the service is good. We only had like a few little minor. It never stopped on us, but like you could see where the
a few little hiccups.
Like the Wi-Fi was kind of like trying to catch up to the movie a little bit, but nothing that took you out of it too much. For me, it kind of like makes the experience a little more entertaining because it's almost like watching it like an old seedy theater, like you would in like a grindhouse in the 80s.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So it was kind of cool on that.
And how much did you say that is? It's like, did you say what? $6? Yeah.
I think it's only like $5.99. It's a really good deal, especially like a Netflix that just went up to like 12 or 13.
Nice.
So
yeah.
If you're a horror fan, I highly recommend Shudder. Maybe if I keep talking about Shudder, we can get
sponsorship.
A sponsor.
Yeah.
Hey, Shudder, what's up?
Hey,
even
we
if
love
you just
your
give
channel.
me like a free month for it, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
We love the product.
I'll keep talking it up, and it's just cool that we have these horror apps.
Sure.
Whether you have the free stuff where you can just watch it 24/7, or you can go and watch the stuff.
Of all of them that I've kind of like worked with, Shudder's definitely the best.
Yeah.
So shout out to Shudder. You guys are pretty cool.
Oh yeah. There used to be, I don't know if they're still around, maybe you can help me with this since you know more about the services, but there used to be FearNet as well. Is FearNet still around?
I don't know if I'm sure it's still around, but I don't know if it's like streaming or not.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Because I had it when I had regular cable.
Mm-hmm.
They had it like where I could watch films, and then they had like an on-demand section, and they actually got like first dibs of one of Clive Barker's movies. It's the Midnight Meat Train. They got first dibs to that when it came out, and I had it at the time, and I was so stoked.
Here's a question. Anybody that's listening, maybe you can fill us in. You remember Chiller, like the sci-fi knockoff?
Chiller, yeah.
That was a good channel. I have Spectrum and I had Chiller, but like last time I checked, like I had it in my favorites and it's not on there anymore. It said like this channel not broadcasting. I'm like, did it go off the air? What's going on?
It could. I don't know that much about it. I watched that too because I know what you're talking about. I'm hearing that some of the channels are changing. Like Spike is going to become something else. This is kind of like totally off subject, but they're saying that channels are changing and maybe they're going to get dropped. So
I don't know.
With Spike, I'm hearing it's going to get changed. It's going to be dropped. It's supposed to turn to the Paramount Network, but I'm hearing all this different crazy stuff. But that might be the case with that as well. I don't know.
It was a fun channel.
Sure. Yeah.
For network, I mean, they cut the crap out of stuff though, but it was kind of cool to like turn it on. You'd see like some random indie horror that you'd never see
have
anywhere
it streaming
else.
Or whatever. Yeah, because some of the stuff I had, because FearNet I had later on my computer too. I would watch on my computer, and then Chiller as well because they had, I think, free stuff.
So enough shout outs to different internet horror services.
We went all, come on, man. Hook us up.
We're gonna shill, but at the same time, until we actually get sponsored, we won't go too far.
Right.
So movie number 2, a little more lighthearted. PG-13, if I remember correctly.
It is PG-13, yes.
We watched, again, a sequel. We watched House 2.
House 2, The Second Story.
Yes. Great title. I like that.
Great title. And let me tell you about this one. This one is very much like Demons, where you don't need to watch the original House to watch House 2.
In fact, I don't think it has anything to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it. The only thing that happens is you kind of get the gist of it, and that is, hey, it's a haunted house.
Sure.
Except
that in this one, it's not so much a haunted house as it's like goes to alternate dimensions.
Alternate dimensions, and that's because of, the house is like that, and 2, because of the crystal skull, which is in it.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with it, so...
Which cracked me up because I was like, wow. I mean, I knew that the urban legend of the crystal skull and the history of like whether or not it existed. I found it interesting that there was an 80s movie about a crystal skull, and then, of course we had the 4th Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and
so
there's
that was kind of cool.
I think maybe there's even some other movies out there made with Crystal Skull. It's a legend, that these things
So,
happen.
like, I had seen Demons 2 before. I did not see House 2, so I think it'd be best if Richard kind of, like, give the plot. I gave the plot to the first one, so, like, since this is more his movie, he's more, experienced with it, I'll kind of, like, jump off of him like he did on Demons 2, and you can kind of, like, give us the synopsis and the plot.
Okay, so House 2's second story starts out with this crazy big house that, who even knows when it was built, but starts off really where this couple just had this baby and they're pretty much getting him up for adoption, so they'll keep him away from the house pretty much because of the folklore and stuff that happened with everything around it. So then the bad guy pretty much comes and offs them.
The bad guy's kind of interesting that he's like a ghost cowboy mummy dude.
Cowboy that everybody in this movie is after the skull.
Right.
The skull is like, dare I say, like a lamp. Kind of like in a roundabout. So it can give you wherever you want, make you immortal. Right. Whatever. So
it's cool that, like, when the guy shows up, he, like, pulls a gun on the man and his wife, and it's like, I want the skull. And it sounds exactly like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
That could be Dr. Claw.
And sure enough, the end credits, it was Frank Welker.
We looked it up, yes.
Who did the voice of Dr. Claw. You might also know him as Megatron from Transformers, Ray from Ghostbusters. He also did Slimer.
Oh, wow, he did Slimer too. Hell yeah.
He did, you name a cartoon.
A lot of good voices.
He's still around. He's still doing voices.
A lot of those guys that do voices too, it's not like they just do one voice. They can do, like, all these different ones.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it was so Dr. Claw. I knew that voice.
Definitely.
And it's funny.
A Dr. Claw ghost cowboy.
Which is funny just because, like, it didn't take me out of the movie. It's like, that's Dr. Claw. Oh, crap.
Yeah, you were right on the money with that. I didn't even know that, and I've seen that a billion times since I was a kid.
So he kills them and wants the skull, and then it ends.
And goes like to 1980. Well, it's 1986, which is present day for them. And the kid that was given up for adoption actually comes back. I don't know if he was inherited it later on or what, but gets this house. So he and his girlfriend, they get it and they're staying there and exploring and stuff. And so he finds all these old books and things about the skull.
And of course, while he's doing this, his buddy Charlie shows up, who... I'm sorry, like, I love the guy. Like, he was very much a perfect sidekick. Like, he's a fun... Like, the actor just was having a good time. He's fun. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like... your best friend that, like, might get you in trouble once in a while, but he's lovable, you love him, and funny.
Sometimes you like to bring him along, sometimes you don't. Sometimes he annoys you, but... He's there, he comes to chill and
which is funny because, like, I almost think it was like missed chance in this movie is, like, his girlfriend's kind of a bitch. They're obviously not getting along. She's a yuppie. He's kind of not.
Sure, he's like an artist in a roundabout sort of way. So, and she's like in the music business, so she's like a executive.
And then, like, Charlie's girlfriend is like a up and coming, like, pop
artist,
singer,
like a Madonna wannabe,
and like there's like all this stuff with Bill Maher of all people was like obviously
a very young '80s Bill Maher when he was a still comedian.
He's like trying to steal his girlfriend, and you're like, just take her because she's annoying.
Right, he doesn't want her. She's a bitch.
And like missed plot, like, they have like a party at one point, and like like Jesse, that's the main character.
Jesse's
ex-girlfriend shows up and like starts making out with him, and it's just like, she seems alright, she seems cool, she's a little drunk, but hey,
so she came all this way to see him, and
it's like, so this is going to be like his romantic interest. No, she's barely in it, like, she's just kind of there.
She's kind of there, and then trapdoor, she's gone, literally. So.
Oh no, they call a cab for her. But whatever. So he goes and they dig up the
skull. So he reads where his great grandfather is supposed to be buried with this thing, because in those days you were buried with all of your belongings that were worth anything. So he gets this wild hair up his ass. It's like, hey, let's go dig up my great-great-grandpa. It's like 2 a.m. Let's go do it.
Of course, Charlie's a good friend. So like,
Charlie's up for anything. Yeah, Charlie's one of those friends who's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So they go and dig him up, and they find him, and they find the skull, and awakened here. His great-great-grandfather wakes up.
Cowboy, zombie, mummy dude.
Everything combined, yeah.
But he's pretty cool. He's like obsessed with beer.
Oh yeah, he's a big he's an old man, and the guy who plays him, who's been in quite a few different things, he always plays an old cowboy or like a hillbilly, though. He always plays that part, but he plays it really well.
Oh yeah, he if he wasn't like pretty cool and like a lovable character, it wouldn't work. But he's pretty cool, and you're like, okay.
He couldn't play it in every movie.
It's cool that like Jesse being an orphan, his parents are dead. Like he gets to kind of hang out with a great grandpa.
Yeah, this is pretty much like his only family, I think.
Sure.
So it's cool that he even though he's dead, he kind of gets to.
But the only reason he's alive is because of the crystal skull.
Yeah, the skull. Yeah, the power to
kind of gets us on the plot because like weird people keep coming in from alternate dimensions because the house. You can, go into a room and suddenly you're in prehistoric times, or
you're in Mayan kind of temple, or
the Old West,
or all these different things.
But so they keep like the crystal skull up on like a mantelpiece,
right? And it's literally kind of like a throne for it, like it's made.
But like people like first off, some like big muscular like prehistoric dude shows up and starts like. Knocks Grandpa out,
beating people up, and throwing him out of the way.
Takes the skull. He picks up Kane Hodder of all people and tosses it over the side.
A very young Kane Hodder, right before he does
Friday 7. Yeah, Friday 7.
Friday Part 7. Before he bulks up.
Yeah, Friday 7 was the New Blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Which is actually funny because it was also what we were noticing first that the producer was Sean Cunningham, who directed the first Friday and also was the producer of most of the Friday the 13th.
Right.
Harry Manfredini did the soundtrack.
Sure.
Kane Hodder was in charge of stunts, and he's also
stunts as well.
He's an actor. He plays like a guy in a gorilla suit that's thrown over a balcony.
Sure.
And then Lar Park Lincoln actually plays the guy's yuppie girlfriend, who would go on to Part 7, where she played
the
Tina, the telekinetic that takes on Jason.
Girl,
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So basically, the prehistoric guy steals the crystal skull, and they end up going to prehistoric times, which is hilarious because Charlie is like, "Oh, hang on, I got something for this." He pulls out an Uzi.
He's like, "If we're going in here, we got to be prepared." So he has like this big Uzi, and so it's like. Charlie Jesse's like, what do I get?
It's like,
he hands him a cigarette lighter.
Yeah, which he finds out later isn't even a gun; it's a cigarette lighter.
He's like, I only had the one Uzi.
Which they never. It's never like violent. I don't think he actually shoots anything with the Uzi.
No, he fires at a lot of stuff too, and it's like
he fires at a bird at one point and totally misses.
Well, and the thing with Uzis too, and I say this like I've shot Uzis before, but Uzis are pretty much from a close range, so it's like to shoot something in the air, flying away, it's
right.
But
it's just funny
that far,
But basically, they end up fighting the guy. The guy gets eaten by some weird prehistoric thing, which I was
like a big mole or something.
Like a giant dino gopher? Like what the hell
pretty
is
much.
that?
Pretty much.
Eats him.
You see dinosaurs and everything.
And they get the skull back and all is well. And you're like, okay, so is that the end of the movie? It's like,
nope, certainly not.
Like suddenly Mayans show up and steal the skull, and so they gotta go and take it back from some Mayans, which is like the most random moment. All of a sudden George Ratzenberger shows up as an electrician named Bill.
And if you don't know him, you'll know him from the show Cheers.
He played Cliff Clavin.
He played Cliff, which was one of the guys. He was the mailman that would sit at the end of the bar with
Norm.
Norm, yes, thank you.
George Wendt.
Yeah, so So he was in this, and he was a total badass.
Well, it's just funny because his character is just an electrician, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fix your electric." And
your girlfriend called like yesterday, like I'm here.
It's like, okay, where are we going with this guy? And like, he kicks Jesse out of the room. He's like, "I'm gonna check this out. You go about your own business."
Right.
And he's like tearing out the electric cords in the wall, and he's like,
it turns into like an alternate dimension again.
Yeah, he's like, "Boys, we got a little problem here." And he brings Charlie and Jesse, and he's like, "It looks like you got an alternate dimension
in there."
It's just like,
how does he even know that?
Matter of factly, and they're like, "Well, we got to go in there and get the
something
crystal skull back."
Yeah, get the skull.
So they go in with like cutlasses that they must have taken off the wall or something. So they go in, and Bill's just like, "All right, well, if we're doing this," he takes his toolbox.
He's like, "Hey guys, I've been here before. If you need help, here, let me come behind you." Yeah, he opens his toolbox up, and he has a sword.
He has a sword.
He has a bitchin' sword too.
And they like go down. They're fighting these like cultists that are gonna sacrifice a virgin. They're like sword fighting. Bill's there with a claw hammer in one hand and his sword. And just like
the claw hammer's like the shield.
Just being a badass.
Yeah,
and you're just like
his electrician glasses on.
This guy's awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to know more about Bill. And, they're, like, getting overrun by cultists, and they all make a run for it after they get the skull, and they get the virgin. They're running out, and they're like, "Bill, come on, you gotta come with us." He's like, no, keep going. I'll take care of myself. Like, I'll cover your escape. Yeah, and they go through the portal.
Yeah.
And there's Bill!
All of a sudden, he's Bill there before them, yeah.
And he's just, like, standing there, the sword's gone, and he's like, nothing happened. He's just like,
putting his gear away,
like, well, that was fun.
Here's my card if you ever need to call me again.
His card's like Bill, electrician / adventurer. And you're just like,
what?
I want a whole movie with just Bill. This guy is amazing.
To kind of get off subject real quick, but if they made a House 3 and 4, which I've never seen actually. I only ever got this far because I don't think he can get better than this one. But what if they were to bring him back for part 3 and it just is him, like, as an adventurer?
I take it back. I don't really want a backstory. I don't want to know the mystery of Bill. He's that cool. Yeah. If you were to tell me everything, I would be like, all right, well, that's kind of lame. I would much rather...
the bubble, right?
Even if it wasn't another House movie, it's just randomly, like, some movie, all of a sudden the character of Bill shows back up, and he's just like, "I see you got a little problem here. All right, well, I'll come with you." And he just, like, pulls out, like, a machine gun and goes with them and, like, fights off a demon or something. I don't know.
Well, for back then, of course, you had Fred Dekker and everybody doing these great movies.
Sure.
So it would have been awesome if they would have thrown an idea like that in there. Like,
let's just...
Bill, adventure. That would have been the movie.
In a perfect world, let's just say they did, like, Monster Squad Part 2.
Uh-huh.
And, like, Rudy and the kids are, like, I don't know, fighting, like, I don't know.
Whatever monsters.
Some sort of, like, crazy new monster. Like, maybe they're fighting Cthulhu.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool, man.
Yeah, like, how cool would it be just to randomly Bill shows up? It's like, not even in the original movie. He just shows up, like, House 2 Bill.
He hands him the card. "Hey, guys, I've been here before. I'm the electrician."
Looks like you guys have a little problem here. I just happen to have a rocket launcher.
Claw hammer. And,
claw hammer. Like, it's just...
Right.
It's so much an 80s... You could not get away with that character. Like, it's so before its time. Like, it's something you would see on, like, an Adult Swim show. Just like a random...
because it makes no sense.
Makes no sense. It's just some random badass.
But it works.
It works really well.
But it would never work today.
No, I don't think...
Because they would overthink the shit out of it, and they would go to make it, and it would be like, okay, this is retarded.
Well, and again, it's the mystery of the character. I really don't want to know where Bill comes from. I don't want to know
he was in the movie like 5 minutes, I think, literally,
he's
right?
Like in 5-6 minutes. He has a few lines of dialogue that are really funny.
And it's
he
like,
says something about his. He's like, "Well, we gotta get this done soon, boys. My son's got Little League." Just like, okay, wait a minute. So he's an electrician, he's an adventurer,
and he has kids.
He has a kid that's in Little League, so he has a family at home. This is fascinating. I want to know more about this guy.
Bill's awesome.
Then again, that's all he is. You don't need anything else, and that's it. He just kind of takes off.
I do have to say, in the first one, Norm's character wasn't this cool. His wasn't as cool.
I'm sure.
At the very most, he was the nosy neighbor that always, like, walked in at the wrong time and made it hilarious.
Right.
It was a tattletale.
I've watched like the first hour of the first movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not fun. I'm just bored.
It has its
okay.
moments.
I could see where if I was like, I just wasn't in the right mindset that day.
Right.
So it just wasn't my thing. I'm sure if I go back and watch it, it'll be entertaining. But it's not going to hold a candle to House 2.
No, when I was a kid, like I said, my parents had like this one taped, and I never saw the first one before this. So then I went back and I'm like, okay, well the first one's pretty cool, has its moments, but this one is bitchin'.
This one is so good. I would recommend it to like most of the people. Like if you're an Indiana Jones fan,
sure, because it's not really a horror film; it's an action adventure. It has its moments.
Here's the thing: watching it had that kind of whimsical, fun, like it's cool, but at the same time, like it's so out there. Mm-hmm. It very much reminded me of like Doctor Who.
Sure.
Like it very much has that with the dimensions and like kind of like silly main characters that are funny but also kind of can be serious.
Cool.
It was cool. Yeah. So like if you're a Doctor Who fan, like check out House 2. I think you'd dig it. Like we're not even done really.
No, and I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves too. When they went to prehistoric times and they came back, they brought back pets with them.
That's right. We almost forgot the catter dog.
Which one? Yeah, there's a caterpillar dog that's like a little
doggerpillar, whatever,
beagle or something.
Yeah,
I would say.
It's adorable.
He's so cute. You want him. It's like you don't know, like what the hell does he eat or whatever, but it's like you want him. Well, he drinks beer. That's for sure. Now
it's hilarious because Charlie, like they fall through a ceiling from prehistoric time, and then they fall into like the dining room, and of course Uncle Jesse's just like, why don't you guys use the stairs?
Why don't you use the stairs? Yeah.
But
Gramps,
and then like Charlie's like freaking out because he feels something like biting his leg
or like crawling on it or
he's
something.
Like, oh my god, I'm gonna die! Rip it off! Burn it with fire!
It's eating me alive!
And then they like pull off the
like
debris,
uncover it,
and it's a little like
a little dog,
adorable like caterpillar body, little beagle face, with like just big adorable eyes. It's like
the folded ears and everything. It's like I wanted one when I was a kid. It's like
I have a feeling if this had done better at the box office, this would be like almost as iconic and adorable as like Gizmo from Gremlins.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be very cool.
It didn't have a lot of screen time. Like otherwise, I think it probably would have.
Yeah, and if the movie would have done better as well too.
And then the bird thing that stole the skull.
The baby pterodactyl, they wouldn't give up the skull. It takes off around it goes around the house with the skull, and they're trying to get it from it, and
it ends up like hanging out in the pantry. But so it's like Charlie and Jesse and Grandpa Jesse and the virgin sacrifice and the baby pterodactyl and the catter dog are all like a little cute little family, and then right as soon as everything seems like all in well, all of a sudden like evil cowboy mummy dude shows up and shoots Grandpa Jesse. Yeah,
which I guess we should have said this too. The thing about the evil cowboy zombie dude is he's the arch nemesis of the Grandpa. Jesse.
Yeah, they look very similar. Like Grandpa Jesse's got like a big bushy, white beard and mustache, and he's all like kind of like falling apart, mummified.
Sure.
And
I guess should have mentioned that the bad guy's name is Slim Razor.
Slim Razor.
Slim Razor, which that's a pretty hard name.
That's a hardcore. If I would have known that, man, that would have been like my new gamer tag. Is Slim Razor.
Now, wouldn't it be cool if you had that as a gamer tag and somebody's gaming with you, like some random person
somebody came
messages you up?
It's like Catter Dog 506 wants to be your buddy.
Right.
Like
Baby Pterodactyl.
Baby Pterodactyl.
But like message you and it's like, dude, I love that movie or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Slim Razor, you gotta write that down.
That is pretty bitch a name. I always thought it was cool. Slim Razor, which is also Dr. Claw, which is also Megatron.
New band name, I claim it.
Slim Razor.
I wonder if there is a band called Slim Razor.
I don't know. We should Google that after we get done with this.
I bet there is.
If there's not, there should be. That's all I'm saying.
And they should all do like retro, like metal covers of retro, like
80s songs or something. Dude, that would be sick. God. We're just full of all kinds of good ideas today.
So needless to say, Slim Razor shoots Jesse and steals the crystal skull, and then like takes the virgin sacrifice hostage. Charlie goes to save her. He gets captured,
Right, he runs after.
So
yeah.
Jesse like has to go save him with Grandpa Jesse's like
his revolver and stuff, because he's dying. He's been shot and he's dying without that skull. Without each time he takes that skull, he's like he kind of gets weak and stuff. So
like he goes into the Old West portal and he
literally like opens the curtains in one of the room and like it's the Wild West outside just randomly, different dimension.
So
the police dives out the window and he's literally in an old town.
Has like this huge shootout with him.
With Slim, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. And then they end up back in the house and like he gets a shotgun and starts like blowing Slim's face off with
yeah, his head just like explodes.
Which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because you're so like focused on interdimensional rooms and all this crazy stuff that you don't think if you open fire in like a residential area, the cops tend to be called.
Yeah.
So there's a SWAT team outside.
All of a sudden, there's a SWAT team in the middle of them shooting at each other in the house.
And like Jesse blows his head off, so you're like, okay, well he's dead.
Slim's dead, so you think.
All is well, and then like all of a sudden he gets back up without a head and starts shooting at Jesse, but misses and then accidentally hits the police chief outside.
So they all start firing.
Like they just pretty much blow Slim into like hundreds of pieces.
Sure. And then in the process they kind of catch the house on fire. Yeah. There's like some candles or something that they knock over when they're shooting.
Sure, as you do.
Yeah. Blowing the place up. And so Jesse kills Slim, of course. Takes the skull back to Grandpa, and of course Grandpa is just, it's like his time and he's so far gone, and I think the skull kind of wants to move on because he's had it so long. So he tells Jesse, his great grandson, he tells him, well, it's yours now, you use it. So he kind of so he takes him and Charlie and Mayan Virgin Girl and Cat or Dog and
Baby.
Trey. It's like a whole family. They got a full
right.
car.
They have like a stagecoach.
But so he chooses to go to the Wild West,
which that's
kind of like his great grandpa was.
Right. Which wait a minute. I just that did kind of like ring like what is he doing? Is like you see that he's buried his grandpa like under some rocks in the Old West place.
Yeah.
And the last thing he does is he puts the crystal skull on it. It's like, wait a second, he told you to take it with you. Like, now you're just going to leave it there? Like,
well, I guess he kind of got what he wanted out of it.
Right,
so.
But at the same time, all I'm thinking about is, like,
all
the bad...
fighting.
Well, there's that, and, like, all these bad guys are showing up and needed it for something. Like, don't you think, even if you're not going to use it for immortality, you might want to take it along just so it doesn't get in the wrong hands?
Well,
no, we're just going to, head out into the sunset.
Maybe he's thinking, hey, I mean, I'm done with it. Screw it. Gramps is dead, so...
Sure.
Whoever gets it next gets it, so...
Yeah, but it was a cool movie. It's a cool story.
Very cool movie.
I'm sure there's like fans out there that have done like a continuation of the story or something.
Sure, there's comics out as well. I think I have a few issues. I need to. You said that a few of them are at our local place we call Bargain Bin for a few dollars. Bargain Box, excuse me. And I need to go and pick them up because
But it was a good movie. I bet it was fun. I'm not taking anything away. I have a feeling if I would have seen it at a younger age, I would have been more in love with it. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it.
Sure.
But, it very much would have been a nostalgic movie for me.
Because... that's what it is exactly for me, yeah.
I think the problem was that the first one was considered almost a straight up horror movie, and I mean I saw as a little kid I remember seeing the trailer for the first House at the beginning of Masters of the Universe and being like, oh, that's a scary movie, I don't want to see that.
Sure.
So I'm sure House 2 coming out, as a kid I would have been like, I don't want to see that, that's going to be a scary scary ghosts in a haunted house, I don't want to see that. Like
It's
definitely a word of mouth movie. Like you got to be in the know to understand how cool it is.
I feel it's right there with Demons 2, to where it's like it has a small following. You know, the hardcore fans, know about this movie.
Sure.
And I'm glad that you also liked it.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping that you would.
I had a feeling I would. Like, as much as you and Paul have talked it up to me.
Shout out to Mr. Arthur again, We give him a ton of shout outs. But that's because he's awesome. But
oh yeah, totally. But yeah, definitely one to check out, guys. Definitely check out House 2 and Demons 2.
Demons 2 and House 2. This is a double feature. We did this.
I really enjoyed doing this. I think this might be a good format to follow because. I mean, we can do top 5 lists until the day is long, but sometimes...
Oh, yeah, because we never run out of...
we just did 2, and we're just coming on an hour and 10, which is decent. And I mean, these might go longer, might go shorter.
Sure.
But I think this would be a fun way to kind of branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think once this gets posted.
Comments and stuff. I hope we get some views on this. I'm not sure when I start on the video part with... photos and whatnot. I'm not sure what route we'll go. Maybe for this one, because obviously we want to make it a little different.
Sure. Maybe we'll do you can do a music video and just take a few shots. I'm sure there's screenshots or stills we can put up for each movie and just put up some cool music or something. Sure.
Also, I mean, what the hell? Why don't we do something whenever this gets put up? Since the podcast is probably coming tomorrow or next day, so I'll say this one will be next week. It'll be done. When I put it up, why don't I just throw up, or why don't we throw up the trailers for both movies?
That would be very cool
on our page. That way, people can see it. Be like, I don't know. It's well, check out the trailer, and if you dig it, go watch the movie.
And I mean, they're two very different movies too. Demons 2 is straight up a horror movie.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get two totally different
fun,
films.
But it's violent and it's scary.
Demons is very dark, very violent, very over the top and goofy as well.
Whereas, you could have a 10, 12-year-old could watch House 2 and
anybody could get into House 2. Yeah, everybody from our age to a 10-year-old.
It's not too violent. There's not a lot of there's not gore. There's not even really any sex.
So. No sex. There's barely any swearing either. I think.
It's really tame for the most part. And again, I think
it doesn't really matter.
The only violence is at the end, Slim Razor takes a few shots and his face blows up, but he's all mummified. So
you're dealing with a zombie. And you're not even seeing anything splatter.
Yeah,
it's just shattering.
Dust.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not violent.
You're not seeing blood or.
Yeah, I'd almost say if they could have gotten a PG rating for that one, I have a feeling it would have done better because it's kind of whimsical. I think it could have.
I think if you would if the movie was made today, I think it would maybe get a PG rating. Possibly. To be honest, because I mean, look at the stuff that we're getting for PG-13 now and stuff. So or even G rather. I mean, things are pushed a lot farther today.
Sure.
So.
I mean, it was a cute movie.
Cute movie. I wish that more people got into it.
It's definitely going to become a palate cleanser movie with me. When I watch a really if I ever watch a Serbian movie, I will know.
Bringing that up again.
I'm just saying, or something along the lines of a Cannibal Holocaust or something. I see something that
you decide to watch it,
push me in a sour mood, or I'm oh man, the world is fucked up. I might just put House 2 on just to chill out and be oh, okay, this is cute. Things are alright.
You could put this right on kind of back with Temple of Doom, I feel like, and have a fun time.
Yeah.
So. But definitely.
So also if you guys have suggestions for movies we should check out, that would be cool too.
Yeah, suggestions for maybe movies that I've never seen, or maybe you're not. I mean, there's so many movies out there that we were talking about a little bit earlier too.
I don't want to do classics though. We talked last episode.
Sure.
I haven't seen the Chuckies. I don't really think those are going to be ones that I want to do this with, because I kind of want to watch it and actually hear the dialogue and completely know what's going on.
Yes, and I agree. Well, I want you to do that with them.
Sure.
But maybe some underground ones. I haven't seen. We were talking about a movie I haven't seen in a very long time that's really underground as Basket Case.
basket case.
And that is only just recently came to Blu. Maybe he has a Blu-ray.
I don't know. It's on
Maybe?
Shudder though. I know we can watch it there.
Well, it used to be you couldn't find that anywhere, so it was like.
Like I had mentioned, I want Richard to see Meet the Feebles.
Oh yeah. Well,
Peter Jackson. We were talking like in the movie. There's a movie called What We Do in the Shadows, which is a vampire documentary, which is just hilariously fun.
Well, maybe that one will be like maybe a next one or a next pair if we do two more to go with this.
Sure.
Or
I think it's cool though that you pick one that I've never seen, and I pick one that you've never seen.
I was going to mention that. Maybe we'll try that next time. I don't know.
Because we did that this time, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Luckily, they were both on Shudder, so we just back to back.
It's easy when when it's on a streaming service, so that way you don't have to really search too hard for it.
Well, and what's nice is like we actually went over to the Batcave because like Richard actually lives in my town now, so he's not like 20 minutes away. So we went over to the Batcave where I've got couches, I've got a big screen, so we just lounged and watched.
I dig it. It was fun time. I dig it. Got to see the collection getting cute, bigger. Got to see Miss Kitty and
right on.
And all that stuff. Yeah, it's good. It's good times. So
right on.
It's good times. So, well, thank you all for listening and are listening to our babbling, I guess, about the movies. Hope you enjoyed. And like I said, we'll post the trailers. And who knows? I might even post the link because I actually think both movies are up on YouTube. To be honest, so
I know Demons 2 is.
Yeah. So I know the first house is. So maybe the second one is there as well. Anyway, I'll post some stuff for you guys to check out.
Right on.
But thanks for listening. And anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good. As always, anything you want to add, we love hearing from people. Please, share us.
Sure. Yeah.
Share us, comment, let us know what you're thinking.
Word of mouth is always awesome, even in this age where, we have internet at our everything at our fingertips with internet, but yeah.
So without any further ado, as we always end the show, keep having a good time.
Yeah.
Stay frosty.
And
we'll see you next time.
And the next time, thanks again. Bye.
Bye.